It's the primetime show, or primetime junior. Let's talk about it.
Well, it's too early to really evaluate him, other than it's been great that he's been in the building. It's it's refreshing to see a player that recognizes where he's at and where he wants to get to.
And Gabriel hasn't been in the building?
As far as I know, he has not. I have not seen Dylan yet. Deshaun was in early when I got the job, so I got a chance to sit down with him.
Say, if you don't know, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, and today we got a 2-for-1 video. Today we're going to talk about the 6th pick, and we're going to talk about the 24th pick because they both intertwine with each other. So this week is going to be a little different because we have the 24th pick, but they also have the 6th pick, the Cleveland Browns. If you didn't know, Cleveland Browns. So because they both are like, and I keep reiterating it, so intertwined with each other that you kind of got to talk about them at the same time, right? So it's going to get a little funny in that last week when I'm talking. I'm going to reiterate this video because this video is going to break all that down and what I think they should do. So they got this pick in the Travis Hunter draft, and they got this pick from the Jaguars when the Jaguars acquired Travis Hunter last season. That's pretty much all with that. They drafted Travis Hunter. The rest is history with Jacksonville. We'll get to Jacksonville a little later, I think. Or they might not have a pick in the first round. We'll see. So, Todd Monken, offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. He wanted Shedeur Sanders when he was in the draft. It would have been kind of cool if we drafted Shedeur. But that goes a domino effect that John Harbaugh probably to steal the head coach because we win more games with Shedeur and he doesn't get fired. So, I'm glad we didn't draft him. But the Cleveland Browns this year are the Shedeur show. Shedeur Sanders is going to have a real chance to build with a guy that really believes in him and has built offenses around, and I'm not going to call him a great athlete. He's built offenses around high-quality talent before. And with this, you think high-quality talent, who's more high-quality in the draft for real than Carnell Tate from Ohio State? I can't see him not sitting there at 6. Obviously, a spoiler alert, Mendoza's probably gonna go 1, and then some other guys are gonna go 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think Carnell Tate is going to be there at number 6, and so that leads to Cleveland having a big decision to make. Do we draft a talented guy to grow with our young quarterback, or do we draft his bookend tackle that we believe is going to be here for 15 years, along with our quarterback that's going to be here 15 years? What do we do? And I kind of want to, and I kind of can argue both sides. And that's why I'm doing the 6th pick and the 24th pick together. I think they should draft Carnell Tate and then draft an offensive lineman with the 24th pick. Because if what I think is going to happens, Spencer Fanu, Caleb Lamaru, Francis Monangai, I think. Francis Monangai. I think those guys, I don't know why I wrote Francis' name twice, but I think those guys will be at 24 and you'll be able to draft them at the very least. At the very least. And be able to work with them. Now, I'm not saying none of this is like A1. None of this is like you draft them and they're going to be your guy for 15 years. Hell, we've seen it. Well, we thought receivers were going to be great and then they end up not being great. So those are the two things you're weighing as an organization. But then there's precedent for both of them. When Detroit, when I can't remember who was on the board, they drafted the guy from Oregon, the lineman from Oregon that was highly touted. They drafted him, and people are like, "Ooh, I don't know where you should go there." He been that guy there for a minute, a part of one of the best offensive lines in the last 5-10 years, right? So that receiver goes, and then they mess around and they get another receiver to make up for that, and blah blah blah, right? But then you look at the other side. Look at what Joe Burrow is going through. He has some of the best. He has probably the best collection of talent in the league, but he can't stay healthy and he can't stay on the field. And when he's on the field, he's running for his life. Shedeur Sanders is not a guy that had any wiggle. He got more wiggle than Joe Cool, but that wiggle, he has no None of that, right? So as an organization, what do you do? Because I understand both sides. Can you cobble together a really great receiver versus can you cobble together a really good offensive lineman? So, like I said, I'm gonna argue both, and I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna think. I'm gonna let y'all make the decision. So, arguing for Cardinal Tate. This is a can't miss wide receiver. You look at all the receivers that he played with at Ohio State. All of them are great. One of them is the highest paid receiver. It's going to force the Ravens to either cut um, Zay Flowers or overpay him like hell. JSN. He played in that. I don't know if they were there. They were there at the same time. I'm almost positive they were there at the same time. But he's part of that group, right? If you think he's that guy, along with Olave and JSN and a few other ones. If you think he's a part of that tandem of great receivers from the Ohio State receiver factory, you go with Cornell and you don't even think about it. You just draft who you have at 24 and keep it moving and just hope that you can cobble together good linemen, right? Or do you draft a lineman that you think is going to be great? Like, do you think this lineman is going to be here for 15 years and he's going to be the guy? Is that what you is? And you think you could put together receivers? I hope I'm making sense right here. Do you draft that lineman and be like, okay, we look at what Seattle just did. We got a decent. This defense is a little older now, but we got a decent defense now. We got a good defense. It's older now, but it's still good. We get a good offensive lineman. We hit some trades, get some receivers, and we can cobble together a good receiving core. Or do you draft the can't miss talent and like, okay, we're gonna draft the top end talent, and we're just gonna hope that this lineman and the new culture and everything can get better. It's a tough decision. It's a really, really tough decision. I think I'm gonna draft the receiver because that has worked more. I think that's worked more often than not than the other way. But then it's like, well, offensive linemen don't sell tickets. And if you're going into it talking about selling tickets, you draft Cordell or Cornell, and you don't think about it, right? But if you're drafting to build a team, I think you draft the offensive lineman. And Todd Monken knows how bad offensive line play could destroy your franchise. He just came from Baltimore. So realistically, I think they're gonna go offensive lineman. I think that shakes everything up because I don't have none of the top offensive linemen on this paper. But I think they go offensive lineman. I think they go offensive lineman, and Cornell goes somewhere else. And I think they kind of regret that. Me personally, I'm going Cornell, and I'm not looking back. If Shedeur Sanders is who we think he is, we'll be okay. We can figure out the offensive line later. But that's just what I think. There's multiple answers to this test that I won't even be mad about. So if it's you, what do you do? Do you go high level receiver from Ohio State that's worked, or do you go offensive lineman that might work? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure if this video is coming out Friday or not, so I'm just gonna say enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace.